Whoa, just one sec. As I get out of position. There we go. Or in position, I should say. Another live stream. Figured I'd have some fun. Let's invite some people, see if we can chat a little bit about Freemasonry. All right, let's give it a minute, see who shows up. Let's give it a bit of time. Usually it takes about half an hour or so for people to come in. Tomorrow is International Men's Day. So my plan is to do a YouTube podcast about that or live stream about International Men's Day 2024. I'll see if I can actually share the screen for 1 second here on my screen. There it is. And thank you for whoever hit the like button and welcome. Here to chat about Freemasonry as always. I was thinking today we might talk about International Men's Day again because that's happening tomorrow. But we can also chat about anything you want to chat about when it comes to Freemasonry. Or we can chat about anything else we want to chat about. Pyramid 7. I just want to vent. My grandfather was a Mason. He ran the lodge for forever. He's the greatest man ever. I'm tired of the way that Masons are portrayed by most people. Well, I don't disagree necessarily. I think oftentimes Freemasonry can get a very negative portrayal, depending on who you're talking to and what they think about Freemasonry and all that type of stuff. So, no, I don't disagree. I do also wish that Freemasons sometimes got a more positive portrayal. Hopefully, one thing with this podcast is I can give us a little bit more positive of a portrayal. If you want to, by the way, hope you hit the like button and the subscribe button because I'd love to chat more with you about Freemasonry. And if you haven't done so, yeah, please subscribe to the podcast so you can see more about it. And if you're already subscribed, then thank you so much. I appreciate it. Welcome if you're just joining us. Thank you, Pyramid Sen, for your comments, and welcome to the Square and Compass podcast. By the way, I had a great time today volunteering at the Scottish Rite Learning Center, as I often do. It was a lot of fun, and I was happy to be able to do it. Oh, I didn't know this, but November 17th, 1999 marked the release of Sleepy Hollow. The movie, the TV show, on a side note, is one of the best TV shows ever because it features Freemasonry quite exclusively. So that was awesome. Another TV show I just got really into was actually Lost. I've been watching Lost lately, which is like 20 years old, which is crazy. What a great show that was. Jump in the chat. Let me know if you ever watched Lost like I did, what you think of it. I'm just rewatching it, and I'm on the second season. They've just met up with the tail section of the plane. So Ana Lucia and all those characters are back. So it's pretty cool. And welcome, Masonic. Thank you so much for the heart. I appreciate it. I hope you're doing well. Let me know how you're doing in the chat and what's going on. Also, maybe today we can talk about the Webb telescope and how that's doing, because that's pretty incredible as well to see. But Masonic, let me know. I'm assuming that's Courtney. Let me know how you're doing and what's happening, and how are things going in Texas. Well, I'm glad. It's a little bit chilly here in Windsor, but not terrible. Or in Canada, I should say. Overall, all parts of Canada are a little bit chilly, but we're doing okay. So I'm happy things are going well in Texas. I miss Texas. I'd love to get back there at some point and see it again, because I've always had amazing times in Texas whenever I've been lucky enough to get to visit. And thank you, person who's joining us, and I think you might just subscribed. Um, Let me know in the chat how you're doing, Pyramid 7, if that was you. Yeah, I hope my answer was helpful to you. I also get very annoyed when Freemasons, when people portray us in like a negative light, if that makes sense. But I'm happy that there are positive people out there portraying it in a positive light. So thank you so much. And check, I had a great time yesterday at the Vintage Pop-Up Fair in at the Windsor Masonic Temple, which I thought went really, really well. Congratulations to Martin and everybody who has who attended and took part in it. All the vendors, it was really well done. I'm going to see if I can actually share a link to one of the clips. Maybe it's the YouTube short even. Let's see if I can find it. Here it is. I'm going to see if I can. This is a longer one, but I'll copy the link anyways. And if you guys watched it yesterday or saw it, but if you didn't, you can check this out. Cameron, I want to thank you for all the. Well, I'm happy to offer whatever advice I can when I can. So it's good to have you here. And thank you to everybody who's coming in and out of the chat and joining us. I appreciate it. I hope that you're doing well. Pseudoscience University. Welcome back. I remember talking to you, what was it, yesterday or the day before? A couple days ago, I forget. How's it been going though? How you doing? And welcome back. I'm gonna add a question in the poll. We'll see how people answer. Have you, if I could, have you attended a public event in or at a Masonic building? Or a semi-private function? Like a lodge dinner. There we go. Oh, darn, it's too long. How do I make this shorter? Ever, oh, for heaven's sakes, trying to make this poll question. Ever attend a public event in / at a Masonic building or semi-private function like a lodge? There we go. Answer the poll question. I saw the amazing video of you at the Windsor Masonic Temple. The gentleman had such an amazing voice, and you guys had great supplies. I thank you so much. I agree. Good. Thanks. Seeing you on to support. Well, I appreciate the support. Soto Science University. Thank you so much. Nicholas Ramita just joined the chat. Hello, Nicholas. I hope that you're doing well. I did know that Alien Earth was coming out. I think it's about xenomorphs, supposedly in our time, right? Or modern day Earth, which is interesting. I think it would be kind of really fun to see how that goes. So I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, welcome and thank you so much for being here. I'm not sure if that's Nicholas who answered that, but I know Nicholas is a yes. 2 votes for yes. Let me know in the chat, what public events or semi-public events have you been to? What public events or semi-private functions have you been to at a Masonic Temple? Dinners, dances, movie nights? Jump in the chat and let us know. Also, I don't know if you know this or not, but I'm going to share this. Yes, I know, Nicholas. Let us know in the chat. I mean, I know, but what have you been to at the Masonic Temple? I mean, you've been to a lot of different things, not even limited to that. You've also been to the paranormal investigations and ghost hunts and all that type of stuff as well. So you've been to a lot. Let me know what your favorite thing was that you've done. What's your favorite thing that you've been to at the Masonic Temple in Windsor, or the most enjoyable thing? Lunch and dinner. I guess that's everybody's most favorite enjoyable thing. Anything involving food. Oh, we've got 3 votes, 3 yeses. Ever attend a public event in at? The other people who voted yes, 3 of you, let me know what the event was that you attended. Whether it was a Masonic event, non-Masonic event, whatever it might be, let me know. Paranormal and food. Well, paranormal and food is definitely going to be everybody's favorite things. Dinner, and it was wonderful. I actually had a tour on the Brownwood Masonic Lodge of 279. There you go. So that was got dinner and a tour. By the way, hope that people don't, if you didn't know this or not, you can actually gift. I'm going to leave this in the chat. You can actually gift a Square and Compass membership to other people. So if you want to support me and you want to get somebody a gift for Christmas, you can gift them a membership of the Square and Compass Promotions podcast, and that gift can be any different tier and can include, if you gift them a tier at the $50 mark, they will receive a scale model Windsor Masonic Temple. I have more being made, and Nicholas is going to get one, or not Nicholas, excuse me. Courtney's going to get one soon. I should have it in a couple weeks, so it's going well. Thank you, everybody, though, for joining us. We have 3 votes. Let me know, again, how you voted or why you voted that way. Like, what have you been to? Thank you, Nicholas. Thank you, Courtney. There's still one more person who voted. We'll see what they have to say. We'll give them a second. I appreciate that. Courtney, that's of course much appreciated. You don't have to, you already did, and so you will be getting your, like I said, your model. But if you want to join again, I would appreciate it very much, and hopefully you can maybe encourage some other people to join as well. That would be appreciated also. Yeah, well, the next lunch will be December 4th for Border Cities Lodge, so I hope to see you then. December 4th at 11 o'clock or so. Well, 1 o'clock, whatever time it is. But I look forward to having you there for that. So yeah, but I enjoy having them. I think the more Masonic buildings that have these type of events, the better off it's going to be. I mean, there's also going to be a luncheon dinner event on December 7th at the Windsor Masonic Temple, so we may be able to do that as well. Been to the Masonic Temple in Detroit. Yeah, I mean, you're saying you've been there a few times, so. So I think those can be pretty special events as well. Will you and Nicholas link up again for the Masonic Paranormal Adventure? Well, we're looking at doing one potentially in the new year. In the meantime, I'd love to do one in the summer, or I'd love to do another live stream with them, perhaps, next week or the week after. We'll see what we can do. That could be a lot of fun. So we can see what works out best for that. But that could be enjoyable. I always like spending time with Nicholas. It's great having 3 people watching us so far. Pseudoscience University, let me know, what do you think about public events at Masonic temples? Do you enjoy them? Do you think that they're good? What is your favorite thing about being in a Masonic temple? Because there are some people who kind of have this idea that Masonic temples and Freemasonry should be private, or like the buildings themselves. I've never subscribed to that myself. I think our building should be as open to the public as possible. But nonetheless, I think some people think they should be kept private. So let me know what you think about that. And let me know also what you think even about having Masonic podcasts and things of that nature, because a lot of people, I think there are a lot of Masons who don't even like the idea of a Masonic podcast. So let me know what you think of that as well. They are cool, classy, didn't understand the significance of the structure when I attended. It's interesting. I think significance, actually, I'm wondering, you used the word significance. I'm going to check something because I'm curious. So if I do significant and put in the I can pronounce this, thesaurus. I'm curious if we're going to see it. Oh, so there it is. At least it's in one spot. Because I've always said that the purpose of this podcast is to explore the ways in which Freemasonry is relevant to the communities in which it's located. And another word you could use for relevant is significant. And interesting enough, when I go on to my favorite, my Merriam-Webster and the thesaurus, so if it pops up, you'll notice here see it. Feels like it's taking a long time to load up the screen. Hope it loaded up there for you. You notice if you use the phrase a significant relationship, you can change that to a relevance and significance as well. But yeah, I think opening buildings up to the public, one of the benefits, opening our Masonic buildings up to the public, one of the benefits is that it'll make the buildings more relevant to the communities in which it's located. Largest Masonic temple in the world. Yes, it is the largest Masonic temple in the world. My suspicion is there's probably some dude from 1974 who got lost in one of the buildings and is just stuck there, or got lost in the Masonic temple in Detroit and is just still wandering the halls because it's so big. I would not be shocked at all if somebody got lost in there. Thank you. We have another vote. 4 votes. Ever attended a public event in at a Masonic building or semi-private function like a lodge dinner? 4 votes, all saying yes. Thank you so much. Let me know who the other person, if you could, who voted yes, what you've been to at a Masonic temple or at a Masonic building, and what the public event was. I'd be very curious to know. And thank you for joining us. It is a way deeper in the ground than the public is allowed to experience. It's way deeper in the ground. It's also way higher. Now, I know that they do have 2 different types of tours at the Detroit Masonic Temple. They're both pretty amazing. They have a regular tour, regular, which is pretty great. And then they have a behind the scenes tour. And the behind the scenes tour does take you to more locations that you might not expect to get to by the public. So they take you to the swimming pool, they take you to the roof. They take you, I believe, underground even. So that's really, really fun and worth checking out. D. Thompson, greetings from True Lodge number 226 of the Most Worshipful Prince Hall Grand Lodge of Texas. Welcome, brother. Thank you so much for joining us. If you could, True Level Lodge number 226. I don't know if you are or not, sir, but if you would be so kind as to hit the like button and hit the subscribe button. The more subscriptions we get, the more people find us and find our channel. If you're not subscribed already. Also, let me know how you came across us and how you found us. Was it suggested to you on your YouTube feed, or are you already subscribed, or do you follow us on social media? I'd love to know. And also, let me know. So you're a Mason, but before you were a Prince Hall, did you ever attend or visit any Masonic buildings for public functions, for public events? And what are your thoughts about Masonic buildings being used or rented out by the public for different non-Masonic functions, weddings, art shows, whatever it might be? Paranormal tour would be good. Yeah, well, that's a good question as well. When we're talking about, actually, D. Thompson, I'm curious, for your lodge, True Level, your building anyways, your Masonic building, have you ever taken part in, or has there ever been at the building, a paranormal tour or a paranormal investigation? I'd be curious to know that. And if you haven't, would you ever consider having one? Because I think a lot of times, a lot of Masonic buildings, most recently in I can't think of the place now, in Johnstown, they had one, and it was pretty amazing to see. So let me know if you'd be interested in that at all. Yeah, no, I agree. Well, it would be good to do one. It might be worth doing one in the new year, trying to organize that. I mean, the person to talk to organize it would be Martin Olette, who's now running the ballroom. He'd be a great person to chat with about potentially having a Masonic or a paranormal investigation, paranormal tour. So also Pseudoscience University, let me know if you would be interested in one of those potentially, if you've ever taken part in a paranormal tour, paranormal investigation. Dan would have to decide for the building as a whole, except for the ballroom, which if you wanted to do anything in the ballroom, it would have to be through Martin. So you kind of need both. And welcome everybody who's joining us. I'd still love to know more about, again, what do you think about potentially having these types of events, public events in Masonic buildings, for or against? What are your thoughts as to why? Oh, I definitely think it's a great idea. I've never visited for other than a Masonic event, but I definitely think it would be a great opportunity to bring public awareness and community involvement. Okay, cool. So you and I agree on that. Um, does your lodge building hold any public events, just out of curiosity? Yes or no? Or would you ever be interested in organizing anything at your Masonic building? Also, if you do get the chance, once again, I'm hoping you can, if like and subscribe, unless you're already subscribed, in which case don't worry about it. But still, let me know how you came across this feed. Did it show up in your YouTube feed, or did you search for it? Because knowing how you find us helps me track down other people, or know where to focus my efforts. Pseudoscience. Last week we were speaking, and I was speaking on the end of ages, the pillars of Boaz and Jachin. These bare leather or stone, the Siler reset written on the pillars by Methuselah. Were you aware? Some of what you said I was aware of, some of it I wasn't. I know what the pillars. I didn't know they were bare leather or stone. I know that their dimensions. I did not know Methuselah wrote anything on the pillars, so that's kind of cool. Thank you for sharing that. And welcome everybody else who's joining us for the first time, or if you're just joining us, I hope you'll answer a poll question. Yeah, I knew the pillars were placed in Solomon's temple. I did not know they had anything written on them by Methuselah. I'm not sure actually what the cycler reset is actually. I'd be curious to know more if you can share what the cycler reset actually is. That'd be really helpful to know. I mean, I guess I could search for it actually on Google. As of lately, we haven't, but it's a great idea for the near future. I found your page in my feed somehow. Well, I'm glad about that. I'm glad that YouTube's recommending it. I'm definitely about to subscribe. Glad to see more Masonic podcast. Great to see the fraternity keeping up with modern times. Thank you so much. Out of curiosity, do you follow any other podcasts? There's a great one in Texas. There's a few, but oh my God, I can't think of the name of it now. Old-fashioned Masonic podcast, I think, or the Craftsman. I think they're both out of Texas. There's some really good ones out of Texas, so might be worth checking those out as well. But I appreciate you checking out mine. We do a lot of these live streams lately. I've been trying it as something new. As well as I've also been posting some podcast episodes lately. So it's been going well. Will I get those photos from Dan and his wife this week? We're working on it. We hope so. I got to talk to Dan. I saw him today, but we were busy dealing with something else. So I haven't had a chance to talk with him yet. So yeah. But hopefully we can do it soon. I think I've got them somewhere too. If I can finally get them, I'll try to send them to you. I would be curious. It might be worth. Cameron, I would definitely admit your podcast is very interesting, very educational. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I think it is as well. So just saying, the world ends over and over, reducing humanity down to a bare minimum. This phenomenon is transcribed in the leather in case of water, stone in case of fire. I mean, I know there are people who think that, like Graham Hancock, for example. I'm not sure about that. I don't subscribe to that personally. I suspect. I mean, I'm pretty standard definition science is what I think. So however many million years ago it was, 3.34 million years ago, the first hominids evolved in Africa, and then from there, it's been what started off as a very slow procession, and it's grown into a much greater, like a Moore's law type of situation. We keep on advancing on ourselves exponentially. That's what I was looking for, exponentially. But I think it all started with stone masonry, right? The very first invention of human beings was the shaping of stone into either weapons or tools by which to consume meat, which advance their diet. So stonemasonry, I think, is integral not just in the foundation of Freemasonry, but also in the formation of stonemasonry. To answer your question, yes, I would be interested in attending. Well, I mean, yeah, I think so many members of the public would be interested in attending, like paranormal investigations in a Masonic temple or Masonic temple events or any number of things like that, right? I think there's far too few Masonic buildings doing, tours. Masonic Temple runs tours all the time, and they're always done excellently. So, we got 4 votes. It's funny, pseudoscience. When I looked up cycle reset, it actually brought me to truck drivers. A cycle reset is the hours of service regulations for commercial vehicle drivers in Canada. Not to say it can't also be applied to potentially Freemasonry or the universe. I mean, the idea of a reset, I think that is kind of a phenomenon that happens a lot, where I don't think society goes back to the beginning and has to build from the ground up. But I do think there are cycles that a country goes through, that a society goes through, different phases. But I think they build on each other exponentially. I don't think it starts and stops at the same spot, if that makes any sense at all. We're just waiting for some more people to jump in the chat. This is an Ask Us Anything type of chat. Don't forget, you can also talk to us about things outside of Freemasonry, or you can talk to us about some of the other things that we do in Freemasonry. Or in our podcast, we also provide written content on Medium, which I've very much been enjoying. Let me see. Actually, it's been a great, too, in terms of the number of people checking out our Medium recently. We've got 563 followers on Medium, which is awesome to see. So I think in written form as well as in YouTube form. Pseudoscience just wrote down text. I'm not sure what that means. Sorry, text as in texting. Texting like the cycle reset text, or sorry, I'm not sure what that means, but I do want to share this Medium page here. 563 followers, some of our different most recent articles and stories that we've published, which have gone very, very well. Meant to type text, not test. Again, sorry, I'm not sure. I mean, I think there's a million different texts that talk about, for example, cycles of society. cycles of humanity, which is very interesting. I'm not sure though. I buy the idea that we're kind of all, we're all cycling through. I'm actually curious. I'm looking because I just read something interesting. And so here it is. I want to share this first. Share this tab here, talking about the James Webb Telescope. Interview with Dr. Philip H. Stahl, senior optical physicist at National Marshall Space Flight Center, because, so that was a, let me see, I'm going to go to the news for a second. Trying to think of the best picture. Here we go. We can use this one, and you can let me know what you think about this. I'm going to share the screen in a second. So this was a interview I did with Philip H. Stahl, senior optical physicist at NASA, where he is. This is his biography, but we're going to go down. Here it is. So the James Webb Telescope, specifically designed to make studies to inform each of these questions. First, look at luminous objects of the universe. First, starts and study what happens to them, studying stellar and planetary system formations, and studying the chemistry of planetary systems. So that's what the Webb Telescope is doing. We talk about why it's important for Freemasonry. And then, a really cool thing, I think, I'm going to share this tab instead. Webb telescope spots more massive galaxies that shouldn't exist. So the Webb telescope is still out there doing all sorts of different types of exploration. And I have my article about that on Medium. So follow us on Medium as well if you can. I'm going to stop sharing. Found any great Christmas movies so far? I mean, so many. It's a Wonderful Life is up there. So, I mean, I guess found, like, I don't have any new ones. I love It's a Wonderful Life. I love Surviving Christmas. I love Jingle Bell Bride. I love all the, I just watched actually, and I'm going to give it a shot on the 12th date of Christmas, which I think I shared this trailer to that before, because I love those type of Hallmark Christmas movies. And that movie in particular, I love not only because it's a Hallmark Christmas movie, but because it takes place in Chicago and features a whole bunch of Chicago locations. And not like Chicago as another town, which sometimes happen, but it features Chicago as Chicago. So I'm going to say on the 12th date of Christmas, which I absolutely loved. So I hope that everybody else will check it out if you can. On the 12th date of Christmas. I'm even going to write that down just because, you know. And welcome everybody joining us. If you want to hit the like and subscribe button, I'd appreciate it. If you haven't done so yet, if you're not subscribed, let me know what you want to talk about. We're here today talking about, amongst other things, public events in or at Masonic buildings. You'll notice the question here: ever attend a public event in or at a Masonic building? We have 5 votes. They all say yes. Let me know what that event was or events were, and also let me know what you think of the idea of Freemasons being involved in public events, or Masonic buildings, I should say, being used for non-Masonic public events, or, you know, semi-private events like weddings or dances or graduations, whatever it might be. YouTube is blocking my response. I just checked. Yeah, so I guess I can't know what you're saying. But I mean, sometimes YouTube will do that depending on what it is. It does happen. You can put it maybe in a comment on another video. depending what it is. But that may work in a comment, and I can check it out there. Welcome, though, everybody who's joining. Also, even if you don't want to answer the poll question, just hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and let me know what you want to talk about. Talking about Masonic buildings using public spaces. Went to another page. Can you see this? Lance Single Productions. Yes, I can see it. I'm not sure what Lance Single Productions is, or is that the same thing as Pseudoscience University, just a different YouTube page? If you are a separate YouTube page, I hope that you will hit the like and subscribe button as well. So that way I can get subscription from both Lance and Pseudoscience. But yeah, I could see Lance Single Productions. I could see your comment there. But yeah, let's keep chatting. We can also, like I said, keep chatting about space exploration, which I think is equally as important to talk about. I think knowing the Lynn sciences is pretty vital when it comes to Freemasonry. We talk about that in our degrees, especially in Canada. So let's give it a few minutes and let's see who else shows up. And we can always talk about the Webb telescope and space exploration and why that's important for Freemasons to pay attention to, and for Freemasonry as a whole to understand. Like I said, maybe all you can do is leave it as a comment on one of our videos. Not this one, but maybe go to our video and leave a comment. I can't promise I'll see it. It depends what it is, but it's worth at least, I guess it's worth at least giving it a shot. And if it's held for review, which is always possible, I can at least check it out and kind of let you know. And thank you, everybody who's joining us so far. We got 4 people watching right now. Oh, we have 6 votes. Ever attend a public event in a Masonic building or semi-private function like a lodge dinner? 6 votes. All 6 say yes. To everybody who's answered that, if you can let me know what the event was, and also what you think in the chat, what you think of Masonic buildings being used for public or semi-public events. And welcome if you're just joining us for the first time. We are here to chat about Freemasonry. That can be anything we want. It doesn't even have to be Freemasonry. It can be anything. Somebody was asking me about Christmas movies before, which I appreciate talking about because I love those. So it can be anything we want. Does anybody know, is there a Masonic Christmas movie out there? I'm kind of curious about that, to be honest. I don't know what the answer is, but I've never heard of any Christmas Masonic movies. I will say this, though. I had an idea for a Masonic Christmas movie once. I'm going to see if I can find it actually on Instagram while we're still doing this. By the way, if you're watching this, if you haven't done so yet, hit the like and subscribe button. If I could find it, that is. I actually asked, because I don't know how to write this stuff, I asked ChatGPT to write something for me, which it did, describing my basic idea. Let's see if I can find the treatment here. I had 3 ideas for movies. One was a zombies versus Freemasons movie. One was a, here it is. One was a horror movie, or one was a Halloween movie, which had nothing to do with Freemasonry. And one was about Freemasons. It's like a Freemasonry-based Hallmark Christmas movie. Cameron, Slight question that I'm going to kick back. I think so. I'm not positive, but I believe I'm going to try to have one to talk about International Men's Day. So once I know, I will let you know. All right, give me 1 second. To share this tab, but yeah, I think so. I'm going to try to do it for 11:30 because that's the time I try to do a lot of my live streams is 11:30 during the day. For as long as people want to chat, I'm happy to do so. So check out this idea and let me know what you think. If you like it, throw some hearts down, throw some hundreds down, throw some reactions down, so I know that you like it. Throw some hearts down. City reporter Elena Carter uncovers a hidden side of her late father's life when she finds his Masonic regalia among his belongings. Driven by curiosity and a desire to honor his memory, she travels to the small town of Hollybrook to cover a story on his former Masonic lodge during their festive Christmas gala. Initially skeptical of Freemasonry, Elena is greeted by the lodge's charismatic worshipful master, Thomas Mitchell, and a colorful cast of characters, including the lodge's Jolly Tyler, Sam Clausen, who bears a striking resemblance to Santa Claus. As Elena delves into the lodge's charitable efforts and is close to the community, she begins to see the values of Freemasonry in a new light. As the holiday preparations amid the holiday preparations, Elena grows close to Thomas and becomes enchanted by the town's Christmas spirit. Her professional and personal life intertwine as she faces a dilemma: expose her father's involvement in a way that could undermine the lodge's reputation or celebrate the positive impact on the community. Yeah, I can see you. I'm not sure why you're blocked. I think it just maybe depends what you're putting down, but I can see you, pseudoscience. Let me know in the chat what you think of this. Well, like I said, the best I can suggest is you go to a different video and leave a comment, see if the comment works or not. It may go to paired for review, which if it does, then so be it. But if depending what you're saying, I mean, there may be a reason they're blocking it, so I can't comment necessarily. But YouTube has to be extra careful. Oh, we have 8 votes. Ever attend a public event in or out of a Masonic building or serve for a function like a lodge dinner? 8 yes. 8 yes. So let me know if you voted on this one, what the event is that you attended, where it was, if you enjoyed it, all that good type of stuff. And also let me know, what do you think about Masonic buildings holding public or semi-public events? Are you supportive of it? Are you not supportive of it? If you're a Mason, because some Masons, for example, are not a big fan of public events being held in their buildings. Pseudoscience, I don't see any new comments in any of my videos. If you can leave some, we can know more about, again, what you're trying to put. No, I get that. Yeah, I'm just saying, okay, well, if it's truth, it's true. Like I said, throw some of these comments down in some other videos. I can maybe see them and maybe comment on them on here, because it should pop up on my notifications, depending what they are. So let me know in the meantime, while we're waiting to talk about this lodge functions, would you watch this movie, The Christmas Lodge? Anybody else just joining us? Same thing. Jump in the chat. Let us know. Have you ever attended a public event or at a Masonic building or a semi-private function like a lodge dinner? If you have, let me know what it was like and if you enjoyed it. Also, let me know, based on the movie on the screen, would you watch it? What you think of it. Leave a few hearts or reactions on there and the screen. In the meantime, thank you everybody who's hit the like button so far, as well as hopefully hit the subscribe button. The more people we get liking and subscribing, the better off this stream is. Here's it go. I'm going to end this poll actually and put a new poll up. Oops, try that again. Going to put this as a poll, I should say. Oops, no. Gosh darn it. Here we go. Let's try this. Start a poll. Do you support Masonic buildings holding events for the public? Start poll. See what you guys say for that. We got 5 people watching right now. I hope that we'll get some talk about this, something in the chat. That would be awesome. And thank you everybody for jumping in and taking part so far. It's interesting. Yesterday downstairs, we had an amazing public event here at the Windsor Masonic Temple. It was really well attended. A lot of really awesome vintage shop and vintage sellers. So that was really cool as well. So that was a lot of fun. And I think it just goes to show that Masonic buildings can hold really excellent Masonic events. Masonic-based movies should be adventure, historical, mysterious, and horror. W Masonic movie. Well, I think so. Certainly, Freemasonry has definitely had a few horror movies based on it. One of my favorites being I can't think of what, From Hell. For some reason, I blanked on the title there, and it's a shame because I love that movie. So one of the best being From Hell, starring Johnny Depp. Certainly, adventure, National Treasure, The Man Who Would Be King. Mysterious, a lot of TV shows. Murdoch Mysteries has Psych. Both have had Masonic episodes. So that stuff has all gone really well as well. So yeah, it's really cool that way. But I think there's room for romantic Masonic movies. Who's to say? Do you support Masonic buildings holding events for the public? 3 votes. All 3 have said yes. Thank you so much for taking part and for the votes. And thank you to the 30 people who've tuned in so far. We're going to give it a bit of time. We've had this stream for about an hour. I'm hoping we can have some more people jump on. Tomorrow, I think tomorrow I'm going to have another live stream. Again, this time talking about International Men's Day. Cameron, what is the most important thing about life that you admire the most? Well, I would say coffee, because I just had the coffee and it was delicious and I love coffee. But seriously, I think trying your best to contribute positively to the world, which is not easy. The purpose of being in the world, I've talked about this with Freemasonry as well. The purpose of being in the world is to try to make it better. As much as you possibly can, in as many different ways as you can. So I think that's the most important thing in life. What do I admire the most about life? That's a harder one to say. What do I admire most about life? trying to think, what do I admire most about life? That's an interesting question. So the most important thing is trying to make it better for other people. What do I admire most? I guess what I'd say, what I admire most is just the chance to be alive at all. You know, it's so, like, life is really, 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 really hard. But there's a lot of really beautiful things in the world as well. And I think I admire the ability to find the beauty in life, even when it sucks, which is often. So I guess that's what I'd say. Yeah, it's hard to, yeah, I think, so that's what I'm going to say. The most important thing about life, trying to make it better for others. What do I admire most about life? Trying to find beauty in challenging circumstances. Cameron, would you say that there's a greater meaning to life outside of simply living? Wow, Courtney coming with the big guns today. What do I say is the... So I don't think that there is, so I guess it depends on how you define greater meaning of life. Like, no, but in that way, yes. Like, okay, so let me see if I can find the quote here, because I think Angel described it best. I'm going to go to videos because they might be on YouTube. Oh, here it is, Angel's Epiphany speech. All right, hold on just 1 second. Hold on just 1 sec. I'm going to see if I can share this. Hopefully we don't get copyrighted, but if we do, then so be it. But I think this really describes it quite well. Oh, no, stop talking for a second. Sorry. I'm going to go back. See if I can share it this way. Cinema mode. All right, give me 1 second, Courtney. If you're still there, I'm going to share this screen. Let's share this. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? Here's how I'm going to do it. I know it's taking me a long time to answer this question. I don't need the actual video. I just need the audio from it. So I'm going to play it from my phone because I find when I play stuff on the computer, it gets warbled sometimes. Angel Epiphany speech. All right, I'm about to play this. Hopefully once I find it. Yeah, here it is. This is kind of my view on the idea of the greater meaning of life. And let me know if you can hear it.
Doesn't what? Mean anything. The greater scheme, the big picture. Nothing we do matters. There's no grand plan, no big win.
You seem kind of chipper about that.
Well, I guess I kind of worked it out. If there's no great glorious end to all this, if nothing we do matters, then all that matters is what we do. Because that's all there is. What we do now, today. I fought for so long for redemption, for a reward. And finally, just to beat the other guy, but I never got it.
And you do?
Now, all I want to do is help. I want to help because I don't think people should suffer as they do. Because if there's no bigger meaning And the smallest act of kindness is the greatest thing in the world.
Yikes, it sounds like you've had an epiphany.
I keep saying that, but nobody's listening.
If nothing we do matters, then all that matters is what we do. So I don't know if that makes any sense. I don't think there's a greater meaning to life, but I think because there is no greater meaning to life, we're able to, that should be a motivating factor for us to try to be the kindest, best versions of ourselves that we can be, because in doing so, hopefully we can help make other people lives better and suffer less. Another idea of it is Rick and Morty. Let me know if you could hear that well. Because again, I'm playing it from my phone, but I found when I try playing it on the computer, it kind of gets funky sometimes. Let's see. Let's see if I can play this for you guys. Oop, that is an advertisement on YouTube. Let's give it 1 second.
The human desire to
Oh, no, that's not the right one.
Special existential purpose.
Let's try Dan Harmon, who created it. Here it is. Rick and Morty, The Search for Meaning.
There's a heavy theme of creator and createe in Rick and Morty.
You brought me into this world, a suffering abomination, tortured by the duality of its being.
I crafted the guy that created the planet you're standing on. Yeah, and I made the stars that became the carbon in your mother's ovaries.
I didn't ask to be born. I know, that is a fun thing for me. The idea that we have gods, we search for meaning, and we think of that as the highest thought we can have. Who made me? And I'm going to make other things.
What is my purpose?
You pass butter.
Oh my God.
Yeah, welcome to the club, pal.
Like Campbell calls God an impersonal cosmic force. That's the most terrifying thing about it. It doesn't give a fuck about you. Rick is the seam between God and man.
So, what do you think? Get out.
Jerry wants to be a good father. He wants to be macho. He wants to be rich. He wants to be a provider, and keeps being told by the universe Rick represents that that's a stupid goal that will always fail, because trying it means you've already failed.
Some people just can't handle the truth, especially dummies like me.
Does he have it better off? I mean, I think so. Like at the end of the Unity episode, one character who can do anything he wants and who's
No, I'm missing some of them. I think YouTube might be blocking some of them. I just saw this one. Cameron, can you see all the chat messages?
And only fails because he's so drunk he can't pull it off.
So let me know if you can hear this well. I hope my stream isn't getting covered or nothing. But yeah, I can't see the last chat. The last message I see is, Cameron, would you say that there's a greater meaning to life outside of simply living? And Cameron, can you see all the chat's messages? That's what I see.
Is a billion redheads, goes into the garage and tries to kill himself and only fails because he's so drunk he can't pull it off. And the other character is very happy to have his weed whacker back and is trimming his driveway and removing the weeds.
What about the reality we left behind? What about the reality where Hitler cured cancer, Morty? The answer is don't think about it.
Do I agree with Rick that nothing means anything? No, I do not, because the knowledge that nothing matters, while accurate, gets you nowhere. The planet is dying, the sun is exploding, the universe is cooling, nothing's going to matter. The further back you pull, the more that truth will endure. But when you zoom in on Earth, when you zoom into a family, when you zoom into a human brain and a childhood and experience, you see all these things that matter. We have this fleeting chance to participate in an illusion called I love my girlfriend, I love my dog. How is that not better?
It's a real treat to be raised by parents that force themselves to be together instead of being happy.
Knowing the truth, which is that nothing matters, can actually save you in those moments.
Nobody exists on purpose. Nobody belongs anywhere. Everybody's gonna die. Come watch TV.
Once you get through that terrifying threshold of accepting that, then every place is the center of the universe, and every moment is the most important moment, and everything is the meaning of life.
So I hope that answered the question, Courtney. Let me know if it did, as to what is the meaning of life, or what do I think the meaning of life is. I think that describes it the best. Throw some hearts down if you think that makes sense, and if you could hear it well and all that as well. I would appreciate it. Have you come across any wonderful Masonic literature? Like I was saying before, Chuck Dunning has written some great stuff. I still got to read Morals and Dogma. Nothing new since the last time we talked about it, but it's still there. So, yeah. Thank you, everybody who's left, by the way, voted in there, as well as hit the like button. I think I may do this again, like I said, tomorrow, where we're going to talk about International Men's Day and what that is and how it works, and potentially ways that we can all support it. And thank you, everybody, again, for checking out the stream, subscribing, liking. All that stuff helps us out major. Well, let's actually add that in the chat just for fun, or add that as a poll. I'm actually going to do it. I'm going to try it this way as a... What is the meaning of life? Let's go with that, just for fun. What is the meaning of life? Let's see who wants to answer it and how you answer it. I've never tried a Q&A before, so I'm starting out heavy with the big one. And I have no idea, to be honest, how a Q&A even works. So if this goes poorly and I don't see your answers, forgive me. Just because I don't know what I'm doing with the Q&A yet. But I'm going to learn. No watch Christmas movies? Well, no, I mean, I will watch Christmas movies. I mean, I'm going to do on December 1st, if anybody wants to join, December 1st at midnight, a Christmas movie marathon, which should be a lot of fun. So hope you guys will check that out. I'm going to watch on the 12th day of Christmas. I'm going to focus on Hallmark Christmas movies, because why not? Even though there's some pretty great non-Hallmark Christmas movies out there, obviously, such as It's a Wonderful Life, which is maybe my favorite Hallmark Christmas movie. It's a Wonderful Life is probably my favorite movie of all time, Christmas movie of all time. It's a Wonderful Life. I also love Surviving Christmas, which is not a Hallmark Christmas movie, not even a classic, but I think it's great and I really like it. Masonic, I would think the greatest priority in life is to serve our fellow men. Well, there you go. Okay. I will take it. I think that's a pretty great answer myself. So I think well done to that. Let's end this Q&A. Let's go back to the chat because we got one answer and I appreciate it. Oh, something's happening with my... Oh, there it is. Nicholas, though, you can still answer in the chat. What do you think the greatest is the meaning of life? You can answer it as in what you think the greatest priority in life is, or however you want to answer it is fine with me. Also, I do want to give a shout out. I do have some more sponsors, more people who have liked the channel, and I'm going to make sure that I mention them tomorrow on the live stream, given the chance to like it. I really do appreciate it, so thank you so much on that. I agree. I also think the greatest priority in life is to, I mean, I think I described it differently, right? I said the greatest priority in life is to make the world a better place, which I think you could define that as, I think you could define that in the same way as supporting your or serving your fellow men. Maybe in a Masonic context, you could say serving your fellow brethren, I think could also apply just as well. So there's lots of different ways to apply that. Thank you, everybody who's tuning in so far. Tomorrow, I'm going to do this during the day, and I'm hoping we can get a little bit more of a, because this I decided to go on last minute. I'm hoping tomorrow we can get a little bit more of a an audience, but I do appreciate everybody who's here today. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for being here. I think, unless anybody wants to jump in the chat quickly and maybe leave a like and make a comment on any of the things we've talked about so far. We were talking primarily about Masonic buildings and whether or not we support the idea of Masonic buildings being open to public events or private events and what we think about that. But those are other things to discuss as well. So if you want to jump in the chat, let me know. Otherwise, we may be calling this one today. My plan right now is to be back tomorrow at 11:30 Eastern Time, where we'll talk about International Men's Day 2024. But I'll give it maybe 5 more minutes, see if anyone else jumps in the chat. I mean, I appreciate, we still got some people watching, so I don't want to leave quite yet. I'm hoping somebody will jump in the chat and let me know what you think about the idea of Masonic buildings, hosting community events, things of that nature. There's been great turnout, but I'm thinking, I guess I'll give it another 2 minutes. Oh, Incipit Occultus. Long time no see, brother Cameron. Thank you. I'm not sure who Incipit Occultist is, but I forget, have you been on chats in the past? Or have I met you in person? I do a lot of Masonic traveling. Let me know if you are subscribed to the podcast. If you're not, if you could hit the like and subscribe button, I'd appreciate it. But let me know where I know you from also. And how it is you came across this stream today. Are you subscribed? Did it show up in your YouTube feed? All that stuff helps out a lot. Cameron, I've always wondered who invented Freemasonry. So no single person invented Freemasonry. We are derived from stone guilds of, you know me as Brother Stephen O'Donnell from the Highlands of Scotland. Yes, I do know you. Wow, it has been a long time. You were on the podcast. Oh my God, when was it? Let me see if I can actually find your episode. It's been a long time. I think SNC episode 109, Brother Stephen O'Donnell and digital archiving. So it has been a while, but welcome back. Thank you so much for being here. It's got to be what? First thing in the morning over there or late at night or something? I don't even know. But like, because it's 6 hours. So what? It's like 4 in the morning your time? I'm guessing you couldn't sleep. So welcome to this stream. Good to have you back. I hope you can hit the like button, like I was saying, and check us out. And also maybe I can have you back on the podcast at some point to talk about some more of this stuff as it relates to archiving. For anybody on the stream here, I'll share. I'll share this link to Stephen's episode. In order to stabilize the world population, it is necessary to eliminate 350,000 people a day. It's a horrible thing to say, but just as bad not to say it. 1:22 a.m. from Incipit Oculus. So not or occultist. So not early. So very early, I should say. Tarot Destroyer. Well, first, Tarot Destroyer, I hope if you can hit the like button and the subscribe button so you can see more of our episodes. I've actually posted some stuff about tarot cards in the past. There's actually some interesting Masonic connections with tarot cards. In terms of the quote, in terms of the quote, I'd rather not. I mean, look, I'm no fan of people most of the time. So I'm not a fan of people. Having said that, I'm not sure if I'd want to eliminate 350,000 people a day. I'm not sure exactly how you'd even do that. I feel like that would probably be a pretty challenging endeavor. I remember reading a story actually when I was in school. It was a super interesting story, and the whole premise of it was that every 4 years or something, they would randomly kill, I don't remember how many numbers of people. Every 4 years, they basically pick numbers from a lottery from a hat, and they'd kill 100,000 people or something just to keep the world's population in order. And the story was told from the perspective of the person who was tasked with performing the killings. So I don't know. I thought it was kind of an interesting story, but I feel like before we go to the approach of eliminating people, maybe a better option would be to try to find better ways to preserve resources or limit resources, or just not be so wasteful in our own lives in terms of how we spend money, or not just how we spend money, how we use resources, the amount of food that we waste, things of that nature. But yeah, Tarot Destroyer, hope you hit the like and subscribe button. Incipit Occultus is my Latin name. It means begins with the concealed. I'm tired. No worries. I'd be tired too. It's very early over there for you. Life is wonderful, and life isn't a trip. It's a journey. My ultimate answer to your wonderful question. So enjoy the journey, perhaps, is what you're saying. So there you go. Life is wonderful. Life isn't a trip. It's a journey. My ultimate answer to your wonderful question. So I'm going with that. I support that. Incipit Occultus, I understand 100% why you would be so tired. It's 1:22 in the morning over where you're from. Also, it's interesting because Tarot Destroyer, you talk about stabilizing the world. I think that there's lots of different ways to potentially stabilize the world. One of the best ways, maybe the best way, is not just Freemasonry exclusively, but rather Freemasonry combined with other social orders and community groups. And actually, a lot of people have been talking about the need to increase involvement in social groups in society. So I think even the idea of social capital and how important social capital can be in terms of trying to improve the world. So I think that might be worth checking out. This idea of Freemasonry as being a salve or a solution to some of these problems that we're facing. Had 38 people join us so far. Thank you so much. Thank you to everybody joining us. Incipit Occultist, let me know if you've been checking out any episodes of the podcast or live streams or anything like that so far. Yeah, I've been proofreading a book for brother all evening, just going to bed shortly. Well, I hope you have a good sleep and I hope you have a good night. I hope you'll hit the like button before you do go to sleep. Let me know in the chat. What do you think about the idea of Masonic buildings being open to or used by the public for different public events? Good. And thank you for watching those. And I hope that you will, when you do, if you could leave a like or a comment on it, that helps with the algorithm. Always trying to please the epic algorithm. So yeah, thank you so much for being here. What's the book that you're proofreading? If you can tell me, I don't know if they want to wait till it's been released. We use our lodge. So yeah, so it makes for suitable revenue. And also I think outside the revenue, it's going to make your lodge more significant to the community in which it's located, right? And I think that's a pretty important item as well, or a pretty important idea as well, is the more people are using your building for public events, the more relevant it's going to feel. And all the better. But thank you again. They want to wait, but it's about the history of the Rosalind chapter. So Rosicrucianism, right? Which is kind of where that comes from, if I'm not mistaken. I did a podcast episode about Rosicrucianism as well once upon a time. So very, very cool. I'm sure it's going to be a great, the Rosalind Chapel. I knew what you were trying to say. You're tired, so don't worry about it. I don't expect the spell. My spelling would not be. My spelling sucks at 2:00 in the afternoon, let alone pseudoscience. If you're still there, I just got your comment. Thank you so much for leaving it. I left a heart by it, so you'll see that. You can leave more comments if you want. It looks like some of them are getting through. Yeah, I don't spell well at 2 p.m., let alone 1 in the morning. So I think it's interesting, the combination, how many people worry about this stuff. So or how many people have different ideas about whether or not public events are a good idea for a Masonic building. I've even heard some people say that you doing public events in Masonic buildings somehow affects the mystique of a Masonic building, which I don't buy, or I don't think the mystique is that important necessarily. But yeah, I'm with you. I think it forms a suitable revenue as well as it just helps in general. So. Thank you for leaving the hearts, by the way. Leaving hearts and reactions helps other people find the live stream as well. So thank you so much, everybody who's taken part in this. I really do appreciate it. Insipid occultist. I keep wanting to say an oculitis for some reason. Occultist. Leaving with the smiley face. Yeah, my spelling is terrible all the time. Don't worry. We rent out to civic meetings, book and arts festivals, etc. Do you have, if you don't mind saying, do you rent it out yourselves, or do you have a third party kind of in charge of bookings, or are all the bookings done through Masons, Masons themselves? And a magic night. Oh, that's awesome. We actually have magicians who use our building as well. So it's really cool. It's great that magicians are using your building also. That is very awesome. Actually, insipid occultists, if possible, if you can, because I know that just talking about all this stuff, all the writing that you do, or the proofreading and all that type of stuff, I'm hoping maybe if you don't, you can follow Square and Compass Promotions on Medium. I'm just going to send you the profile. Actually, I'll send you a link to one of the articles. Hold on just 1 second. So that's interesting. So some places, like we have a ballroom we rent out to the public, but it's by a third party, and we rent out kind of other areas ourselves. I think there's benefits doing it both ways. If you rent out yourselves, then obviously you get to keep 100% of the revenue. But if you don't, if you don't have a professional doing it, that can affect things as well. By the way, I'm glad you still received the emails. I hope you enjoy them. I hope that you'll also click on the link above, potentially the Medium link. Check out the article, and also, I think you might actually like that article, to be honest. It might be up your alley. And then also follow us on Medium. Or leave some claps or comments on the Medium as well. Would be awesome and would be much appreciated. And let me know if you like the emails as well. That would be helpful to know. Communication, being part of the conversation, it really does help a lot. Thank you, Pseudoscience, for the comment as well on the other videos. Let's say we still got one person watching. I've kept this going a little bit longer than I thought I would, which is awesome. Let's give it a bit more time, see who else shows up. It was great. I mean, I was going to leave, and then I stay on, and we get my good friend Stephen from Scotland on. So thank you so much, Stephen, for joining us. And everybody, if you could, like I said, please follow me on Medium as well. The link is there to my most recent article. Stephen, if you're still there, I think you'll enjoy it. And it's just another way to see kind of what we're doing. I bookmarked the link. I check it out tomorrow. Yeah, the email. Thank you. Well, I'm glad you bookmarked the link. I'm glad you'll check it out tomorrow. Feel free to let me know what you think. I know that you're pretty heavily involved in writing, so you may have some ideas on it you know, how I can improve it or other things I can talk about, which I would appreciate as well. All right. I think that I'm going to call it a day for this one. I do plan. Actually, Stephen, before you go, did you know that tomorrow is International Men's Day? And if you did know there's International Men's Day, does your lodge plan to do anything for it? If you didn't know, what do you think of it when you just hear it even? What are your thoughts? Because a lot of people don't know, the theme of it is actually male role models. Grand Lodge of England, UGLE, yesterday put did a thing. So it's interesting because a lot of people I find actually didn't know. So the fact that you knew, is that because UGLE has done some things to promote it, or is that just something you knew outside of? Well, I guess you're Grand Lodge of Scotland, anyways. But are you Grand Lodge? Are you UGLE or Grand Lodge of Scotland? You're Grand Lodge of Scotland, right? I don't know if Grand Lodge of Scotland did anything to promote it, but do you plan? What do you think of it? Do you post anything about it? Do you plan to do anything with it? Let me know in the chat. Just looking for something quickly and I can't seem to find it. I'll give it a second. Yes, we're not really promoting it. Grand Lodge of Scotland. Yeah, so I mean, I know UGLE, like I said, did a couple of posts last year. I think they're probably gonna do some posts tomorrow, but I don't know if every Grand Lodge is doing it. Masonic treasured photographs would be a very wonderful live chat. Just a brief, yeah, that would be a great live chat. I can maybe ask people to tag me in them on social media and then share them. That would go really well on different locations. I support that 100%. I think that'd go great. So thank you so much for that idea. And I agree, it would be awesome. Just trying to see. I got to try to track something down while I'm still on this chat. Or maybe there's a way, because like treasure Masonic photographs, they'd obviously probably be photos of Masons, which could become tricky because you don't want to be sharing photos of Masons without their consent. Like if you have, let's say, a group picture with 20 or 30 or 40 members or whatever it is, how do you make sure that you get permission to share that on social media with all 30 or 40? So that could be interesting. UGLE, you're spearheading a word, Grand Lodge Scotland. We're promoting Prostate Scotland, of which I am the prostate champion. There you go. That's a good thing still. That's a great thing to promote. I support that 100%. So I'm happy that, prostate cancer, early detection. I've had family members who have prostate cancer, and early detection, I'm pretty sure, saved their lives. So I think that's an awesome thing. So it's kind of a funny phrase, being the prostate champion. But still, nonetheless, I think that's awesome. And so congratulations to you, and well done to the Grand Lodge of Scotland on being part of that. Thank you again, everybody who's joined us. Let me know if you're from a Grand Lodge, if it's doing anything. Oh, Nicholas Romita, talk to you tomorrow then. I look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow, Nicholas. Thank you for joining, as always, on the live stream. Like I said, 11:30, my plan is to jump on. Are you still reading, by the way, your Stephen King books? Or, you were reading Christmas Carol. Well, I think men's health in general, right, is really important, both the physical health and the mental health, which is something, by the way, that Freemasonry talks about a lot, which is how to support our health and well-being. So, which is not easy. It's really hard to be a man and support your health and well-being. But we're all trying our best. That's the key. We're all trying our best, whether it be mental health, physical health, or a combination therein. And also being kind to ourselves when we make mistakes is pretty important as well. And give it a couple more minutes. And Sipit, thank you for bookmarking the webpage. I think I'm going to call it a day. So thank you guys so much. And I'll talk to you guys later.